Only Digest. Look at the camera,
Podcast
Coleman.
number 3.
Yes, podcast number 3. Look at the camera, Coleman.
I don't want to. Okay. Okay, so podcast number 3. What are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to be talking about...
I'm going to pull up the list.
Yeah.
I'm consulting the list.
Yes, we're consulting the list. Coleman, it was pretty ridiculous for the planning for this episode. Coleman had like one idea down, and then I just got on the document.
You put on
and
like 7 more.
No, I actually counted them. There were actually about 27 more ideas.
I wish that was true, but it's
not. I'm confident it is 27. My belief in the number 27 makes it true.
Your beliefs are not well grounded. Okay,
But
this is the list. If I can pull
this
it
is the list, a blank sheet of thing that isn't loading yet.
Not even a sheet of paper.
Yeah, it's not even
That's not 27.
No, there's 27 characters.
Oh, I'm not.
Nah, just kidding. Continue.
Okay, so, you want to talk about the presidential stuff, which you added a ton of stuff about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Or do you want to talk about what I thought was pretty cool?
Well,
Chromebooks and the future of computing.
And here's the reason I put.
See, I read that when I first saw this list this morning. Chromebooks are the future of computing. I was like,
They
okay.
Well, the thing isn't that.
I was actually hoping that you would have said that it was, so we could have a real discussion. But you know.
First of all, it's like I personally still am very skeptical of Chromebooks as a computing device. But basically, here's what I'm thinking about them.
Sponsored by Windows. Sip your tea.
Well.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that first. Chromebooks and the future of computing. So, what do you believe Chromebooks hold to the future of computing, laptops, desktops, tablets, 2-in-1s?
Well, personally, until a couple of weeks ago, I had thought that Chromebooks were just this passing fad that would wear out and are completely useless to any form of computing. That is until they forced me to use one for school.
And it's pretty impressive how Google has taken Chromebooks and ran with it, even after it fell multiple times, cracking its head open. But, it's still running strong, and I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at how far Chromebooks have
gone.
Not really gone, but just stayed alive for.
Well, let's just put it this way. It has no hard drive. It literally has no hard drive.
It has an SSD.
It has no hard drive. It has no stored operating system except for the Chromebook. All of the information you do on there, but it basically has only RAM and a tiny, tiny CPU hard drive.
No, it has a little hard drive. It's 32 gigs.
No,
it's 16 gigs.
No, it's either 16 or 8. I can't remember. Hopefully this tea should be cool by now.
But the whole point that I've been gathering from Chromebooks is it's an internet device, which brings up the whole argument: how important are other apps to a computing environment?
Well, and
to their importance in the future.
Well, and you would think that a computer without any apps whatsoever, no computer games, no word processing, no nothing, would be an absolute worthless piece of censored. But it isn't. The fact that a Chromebook is able to be used as a computing device attests to its power, because the fact is that it has none of the advantages of Windows, none of the advantages of any other application, but it works. And it works pretty well for what it is. Yeah, the fact is that nothing this terrible should be working this well.
Exactly.
Which is why I find it kind of surprising.
It's pretty impressive. Honestly, pretty impressive. If you're wondering why I keep on looking over here, we got the basic version of the game that we just recorded.
Yeah, that we just recorded, and it's actually going to be our first gaming episode because I lost the save.
We made like 7 episodes, and the audio is just
It is absolute piece. Yeah.
It was pretty messed up.
This microphone,
I hope this is working.
If this
we still don't have our
it's working right now.
Game
down. Yes, it's definitely working.
But still, I hope we still don't have our microphone game down right now.
Well, if this channel is going to go to pieces, it's going to be because of this microphone.
It's going to be because of any microphone skills that we don't possess causing havoc. Basically.
And in our videos, rendering 3/4 of our videos useless, and that's going to be the big problem. But anyway, back off of a tangent onto the regular tangent, Chromebooks.
Chromebooks.
What do you think of them? And you've never tried one, so make sure to keep.
No, I mean, at my school, my old school, my middle school, we were very technology forward, which I liked. One of the few things I liked about the school, but
you were one of the lucky ones.
We got a ton of Chromebooks, and I think there's one Chromebook cart, which is like 30 Chromebooks per 2 or 3 classrooms.
I mean, the reason is...
And I was so glad about that. And we used those so much, and I got so used to the operating system, but I was going to get a Chromebook, and it was between this computer right here and a Chromebook.
And one is 1/5 the price of the other.
Exactly. And I was considering getting a bunch of them and then, doing like a giveaway. But, in the end, it came down to what each one offered and what the future of each one was. And the fact was, Microsoft just had the best platform for creating. I mean, do you have something to add?
No, just go on.
Between Chromebook, the Chrome operating system, which was piggybacking off of Linux at the time, and I think it still is, right?
I have a Linux computer upstairs. Be careful with what you're saying here.
No, I mean, Linux is great, but
Good.
It just doesn't have the same backing as Windows does at this current moment right now.
Well,
it doesn't have the support and the credibility that Macs and Windows do right now, and Chrome and Linux, which Chrome is piggybacking off of, just don't have what I need right now, so...
Well, I mean, the thing about Linux...
I'm just jumping around the question. What do I think of Chromebooks? I think they're a true marvel of what Google can do, because Google had this idea, and they really shouldn't exist, because they're one of the worst computing machines to come out of anything.
Well,
but
I mean...
They came out in, 2012, I want to say? 2014. 2014.
Really?
The first Chromebook came out,
Really?
made by Samsung. Yes. It did. I remember, because it was that year that they started talking about getting Chromebooks in our school. 2015 was the year when we got the Chromebooks.
First of all, if they started talking about getting it in your school that year, it probably came out 20 years before that date, just because how public schools operate.
So, 2013, 2014, Chromebooks came out, and I was thinking, this is hilarious, let's see where this goes. 2016 now, they're still going strong. They're coming out with amazing Chromebooks. I just saw a Chromebook with 2 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. I wish I was kidding. No, it's not online. On the device. With a 15-inch monitor. I wish I was kidding. It's like $500-600 bucks.
Well,
I wish I was kidding.
I mean, and here's what the marvel about Chromebook is, and that's that if you look at it compared to regular computer, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. They
just don't have the same support system, and they're piggybacking off of an operating system that doesn't have the same support as other operating systems like Mac or Windows.
I mean, it's like that's part of the matter. But what makes Chromebooks truly radical is just how they're designed and how the operating system works. Linux operating systems, and I'll do a video for the channel on Linux upstairs if you guys ever feel like it. It runs like a normal computer upstairs. As a matter of fact, you can run it exactly like a normal computer, except that you have to use substandard version of all the software that is built on Windows. The problem with Linux isn't necessarily lack of quality. It's better than Windows in my opinion, just that it has no software support. But the thing about Chromebooks is that they are the weirdest thing ever.
It's
entirely a web browser. It is basically, just imagine this. Chromebooks are basically like this. Let's say that you have a computer right now that you're probably watching this on. Or a tablet, or let's just assume that you're on a computer on your desktop watching it right now.
Or listening to it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to come out there and say we're not putting this on iTunes.
Yes, okay, yes.
I'm not going to put this on iTunes. Apple, get your stuff together, because we just don't... We feel it's too complicated to put it on iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, yes, But
anyway, back to the topic.
But the thing is that it's completely really a web browser. Basically, if you're on a computer right now, just imagine deleting every single application on your computer.
Including your file manager.
Yes, everything. Absolutely
except
everything.
Chrome.
Well, yes, or a web browser of your choice. And let's say that you therefore, after that, optimize the operating system to the point where it is designed to only use the web browser. And
that's what Chrome is, and that's what some people have opted for.
And it works. And
it works amazingly well.
Yeah,
for
and the
just
thing
that.
And the thing is that if you don't know what a Chromebook is right now, you would probably be saying right now, "Oh my freaking like."
If you don't know what a Chromebook is right now, tell me where you found the rock you've been hiding under, because it must be pretty damn comfortable.
Yes, and
but,
yes, and because we're a small channel, the search result's going to be like below everything else. So I don't understand why you scrolled through probably 16 pages of search results
and
clicked
just
on this
found
video,
this, and now finding out what there's Chromebooks only built for Chrome.
Well, but
yeah,
and I'm assuming you haven't tried them, but like that's what they are. It is literally only the web browser.
And I wouldn't blame you if you haven't tried one yet, because they're not the best thing.
Yeah.
And you know, there's not really any reason if you have an amazing functioning like 4 i7
computer
56. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Computer. Well, yeah.
If you have a monster computer that's running Mac or Windows, then there's no reason for you to be operating on a Chrome OS computer.
And if you have that money, you shouldn't be even listening. And it's like
you shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't like to turn away customers, but you shouldn't be listening to this.
Yes, there are much better YouTube channels with billions of dollars at their disposal that you can go ahead and listen to if you want to.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you haven't tried one, you may be thinking right now, that's absolutely freaking worthless.
But here's the thing.
Honestly,
I want to explain.
Yeah.
I want to explain why they are still alive.
Go ahead.
And this is because of the position I'm in my life right now. I can understand why these exist. Schools. What do you do at school? When you're researching stuff, you don't need these monster applications taking up gigabytes on a computer. You just need a web browser.
And you may be thinking, okay, well, what about word processing? All schools now,
every last school has a Google account for every last one of their students.
At least public schools. I don't know anything about private schools.
Most of them do, trust me.
Okay.
I have some experience with some private schools.
Okay, then so they have those?
Almost all of them do. And for that reason, it has Google Docs on there, because Google has built a really good, what would you call it? Like a cloud system?
It is. I mean,
a system, a good system.
You all know about Google Suite because
Google Suites. That's right. That's what they're called. It's their good suite.
Yeah, and it's like everything's part of it. Everything that Google has is part of that said suite, and it's designed to run entirely on the web browser. And
that's why
it works.
That's why it works for that one demographic that is never going to go away, and that is Google's secret. Well, I'm sorry, Google, don't sue me, but that is why Google and their Chromebooks are surviving right now.
Well,
that's why they still exist.
That's
why you're hearing us talk about them right now.
And but the thing is that's their niche. Their niche is that's their little spot that they are best at that their competitors can't cut them out off of.
I like how Google doesn't try to completely monopolize every single piece of hardware, because they partner with other companies to make their hardware. They just make the software. Which is really good. That's why I like Google. I like Google, and I don't want you to sue me because of me telling your big secret, but
and seriously, don't sue us. We're supporting your products.
We're supporting your progress and your products. You're doing a great job in schools. They're your biggest customer, and
although one thing, Google, if you're watching this, make a Google Drive application for Linux. Seriously.
I feel Linux could be a really great operating system, but at this current moment, they just don't have the proper support and recognition. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Yes, we're going to. Yeah, we're gonna move on. But this is.
I see you cringing over there.
But the thing is that it could be the future of computing because one reason, price. If you look at a Chromebook right now, you can get one for about $100. this little thing that Coleman's bringing around right here is $500 or possibly more.
Oh wow! I feel flattered. Yeah, it's only $500. That's
How
all I
much did it cost?
This computer with the specs it has, which isn't even good. It's a Core i5 with 128 gigs and 4 gigs of RAM. Not a beast. Guess how much? I want you to guess.
I'm gonna guess about $859.
That's flattering. That is real flattering. You want to hear the price?
What?
$1,200. I cry myself to sleep thinking of how I'm gonna, pay this off. But
you should.
no, it was a wonderful gift. I don't want to go on a tangent about how I got it, but
yeah.
I've upgraded. I got the original Surface Pro 3, which that one was around $900, and that was a Core i3 with 64 gigs of RAM or 64 gigs of storage and 4 gigs of RAM. So that was like a freaking tablet. It didn't have good specs, but this thing I paid $200 to upgrade it, and so it's around $1,100.
Well, it's like the thing is, and that's that. The thing is, and that's that for someone who's for someone who's short on money, if you have two computers, a $100 computer and a $1,000 computer, you're going to choose the $100 computer. So it's always going to be in the mind of those people who have budgets, but computers are getting cheaper all the time. And
you could get something with comparable specs for much cheaper. I'm just saying, I got this computer because it's a really nice computer. Yeah. It's not the specs that make it great. It's the design and its functionality.
And the fact that it's sold by Windows 2, which automatically makes it much better.
Exactly. And the fact that I can do this.
Drop it on the floor, it breaks and crashes into pieces.
It's like a tablet, really. And it has the specs of a computer, and I think that's something that other providers find hard to, provide.
Have you ever, it's pretty common right now, and they're not the first
I don't want to go off in a tangent about Windows and what they do.
But it's cheap. That's the key. Second of all, they're actually functional. Let's be honest right now. Let's be honest, on your computer, outside of playing video games, because those are a completely different beast, and how much time do you spend on applications outside of your web browser? Probably about...
You shouldn't ask us, because we're constantly doing that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, the thing is that you can move a lot of the things that you do offline, online, so therefore you're kind of stuck with the... So therefore you have the ability to... therefore you have the ability to, literally just do everything offline. You have that one operating system designed for that single person, and it runs a whole lot faster because it's unified, it has a single purpose, and it does that one thing well.
Exactly.
And that's why Chromebooks is the future of computing. Oh, do you have anything to add?
It's not the future of computing. I thought we just agreed that they have a good they have a really good hold on a market that is really hard to tap now that they have a hold of it. And they have a hold of it in such a good way that I can't be angry at them because they're not monopolizing it. But
they are, but...
No, they're not, because they're working with other companies to create the hardware. That's not monopolizing.
Well, there's a big difference. They've monopolized the software.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. They monopolized that, but that was a smart business decision. They're not the future of computing. They just have a good future for their computing.
Well, the thing is, the fact is that when everyone came out, there were a lot. When Google announces products, it's always met with extreme happiness and joy by most of the internet community.
And usually for most stuff, it just dies off, like the Nexus.
Hype.
Oh wow! I just got major feels.
Okay.
The Nexus Q.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that was a big flop, and then they came out with the Nexus P, which I actually really like, but it never took off.
But the thing is that it was the only Google product that had actively negative reviews on it.
Okay, so...
And that's major. Oh, hi. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
We're recording right now, just so you know.
Oh, did I interrupt?
Yes, you just did.
I can cut it out.
Yeah, we can cut it out post.
Anyway,
we
gotta get to a final decision. Chromebooks, what are our final thoughts on Chromebooks?
Well, here's what I think about it. It's the only Google review that had negative products on launch. And to be fair, anyone who looks at it will probably say, yeah, this is an absolute total business failure on their part. but it wasn't. And the fact that it wasn't is a major thing. And the fact is that if it continues up its current reel of success, it could very well be the future of computing. And that's our episode. Thanks. Bye.
That's all we had to say about Chromebooks. Do you know how long it's been going on for
I have
at this point?
absolutely no idea.
I think we're going to cut it here.
Yeah.
I think that's a good episode.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Okay, right there. See you guys in the next episode.